Hello, welcome to episode 8 of the How to Make a 2D Minecraft style game in C Sharp. In the last episode, we made our world infinite, but we ran into a bit of a problem where if we build something and then we move a bit so that it goes off the screen and then we come back, what we've built is gone. And so, what we're going to have to do in order to fix that is we're going to have to create a way to actually save the parts of the world that went off the screen. And that's actually going to be a little bit simpler than you might think. But we're going to need to install another library to do that. So if you go up here, and we're going to click on the little search bar at the top, we're going to type in this arrow here, and I'm going to click on the Visual NuGet. If you don't see it there, though, you can type in Visual NuGet like that. Click on that, click on the name of your project, and we're going to search for, I already have it pulled up here, but it is Bytepack, Bytepack. And we are going to install Bytepack. Now, if we look at this, if we click on this project URL for Bytepack, what you can see is it lets us create a new Bytepack, and then we can add things like ints and strings and doubles here, and then we can get a byte array from this pack here. And then here, you can read from the bytes, and then you can get the integer, the string, and your doubles. That's going to be very useful for saving and loading. So what we want first is we're going to want the world seed to stay the same once you load up your new world. So we're going to take this random out of here, and or actually let's get rid of this whole thing right there. So now we just have fast noise. Now you can see the world has a little yellow underline under it. That's because we have not made the fast noise variable yet. So we can do public. Sorry, I keep forgetting public is not something you do in a function. We can do inside the constructor int seed equals random right here dot new random dot with the parentheses dot next. There we go. Int seed equals new random dot next. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to get in here, in between the parentheses, a string for world name. And up here, let's add a little bit of space here. We're also going to add a public variable that's a string for world name. And let's press enter here. Put this right here. This dot world name equals world name. So now we can do string world directory like this equals, and we're going to put in these quotes here, saves, and this little slash like that, and then we will do a plus world name. Alright. Now we need to check if this world directory does not exist, then we need to create it so that we can start saving stuff in there. So, if directory, and I can press enter here, dot exists world directory, press enter there, equals false. So if it doesn't exist, we'll do the curly brackets there. Then we will do directory dot create directory world underscore directory. And I'm just, once it pops up there and it's blue on that little side thing, I'm just pressing enter. And then that just types in the whole thing for you. And then we can do byte pack like that, and then enter. Now that we've imported byte pack, we'll name this pack equals new. And then we will do pack dot add float. Sorry, add int, because we want to add the seed to it. Seed. And then we can do here, we can write to a seed file. We will do file dot write all bytes and enter like that, the parentheses. And then we'll do world directory plus then the quotes slash here. And we will do let's do settings. I think that's a good name for it because we can get all the different settings for the world. Or, you know, actually, double click on settings. Let's change this to info instead. Let's do world.info. There we go. And then we can do pack dot pack and enter and the parentheses there and a semicolon at the very end. So now what we've done, we've got the directory. If it doesn't exist, we're going to create a new one. And then we're going to pack this seed into this byte pack. And then we write it to a file. Now, what we can do is we're going to do an else, and the curly brackets there, byte pack equals byte pack dot read file dot read all bytes, and press enter with that, and the parentheses and world directory enter plus the quotes slash world dot info and the semicolon at the end. And then we can do seed equals pack dot get, or sorry, read int. And then let's go down, and after this curly bracket, the last one there, or in between these two, we will do noise equals new fast noise, the parentheses, and seed. So now every time you load in your world from this world name, it'll have the same seed each time. And if you look over here to the left, this program.cs is red, that means there's an error there. And if you look in here, the world is red here. And it says there's no argument given that corresponds to the required parameter world name of world string. And if you look here, this is in blue. You can see it needs a string world name. So in these parentheses, we can add the quotes here. And I'm going to type in my world. And let's press this play here. And we started in this little hole like that. All right. Let's close it. And we're going to come up here to where it says bin, B-I-N, on the left side. We're going to click that arrow. And here, you can see we have this folder that says Saves Now. And My World. And we have our world info. If you look at that, we're not going to actually be able to read what it says here. But this is the save file. So if we click play again, we'll spawn inside of that little hole here. Same one we spawned in before. Let's open the window up a little bit more. We can see we've got this hill to the left, that hill to the right. Let's see if it'll stay like that. Yep, as you can see, we've got the hill to the left, the hill to the right, but if I build this, I close it, and I open it again, what we've built here is still gone. That's because we've only saved the world seed. We have not actually saved any of the chunks. So let's go and click on chunk here, and let's go all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to make a public void save. Right? And we're going to do a string chunk file that's going to be equal to world, or sorry, go back. Let's do saves, the slash, that's in the quotes, a plus, and then world dot world underscore name, and then plus this slash, and we're going to do another plus, and we're going to do position dot x, and another plus, and then quotes and underscore here, and a plus, and then position dot y, a plus, and then another quotes and a dot chunk, C-H-U-N-K, like that. That is the file we're going to be trying to save the chunk to. So, what we need, we're going to copy this. I'm going to copy that, and we're going to paste this in there. Then at the end here, we're going to add one curly bracket and another one. Those are on the other side. We have a left curly bracket and a right curly bracket. And then before this, we're going to make another byte pack. Byte pack, and enter pack equals new. And with the parentheses and the semicolon at the end. And we're going to do pack dot add int. We could do add ints. and the parentheses, and we're going to add this little box right here, and we will do position.x, comma, position.y, and at the end, a semicolon. Then we can do pack inside of here dot add floats, parentheses, the box here, and we're going to get back to that in just a second. Before that, if you click on this side here and click enter, we're going to add a line. I'm just going to add a line right here too, and we're going to do var color equals get block x, y. And then we can do color in here dot x, or sorry, it is color dot r. That should be right. Oh, it is a byte actually. All right, add bytes. Oh, all right, so it's not add bytes. We can just do add color G, color dot B, and then color dot A. That's the whole color here. All right. And then that should be it for saving this chunk. But now we need to add a public bool load, parentheses, curly bracket. We're going to take this chunk file, right click, copy, paste it here, and then byte pack. Oh, you know, I forgot to write it to the file. We need to do this at the end of save, file dot write all bytes, parentheses, chunk underscore file, comma, pack dot pack, and the parentheses and the semicolon at the end. And then now in the load, we're going to do byte pack pack equals byte pack dot read, parentheses, file dot read all bytes, parentheses, chunk file. All right, and then we're going to do position equals new pack dot read ints. All right, and then let's copy this, paste this, and var color equals pack dot read, like that. I want to quickly look at this. You know what? I'm going to do add ints here. Let's do add ints instead of add bytes. And then we'll do read ints here. So for instead of pack.add here in save, it's pack.add ints, and then var color equals pack.read ints, and then we can do set block x, y, color dot, or actually no, it should be a new color, color dot, or color 0, with the box, and then color 1 with that box, color 2, color 3. And like that at the end. You can remove pack.add. And then at the end here, we can do return true. And then let's add some lines in here. If file.exists chunk file equals 2 equals false, the curly brackets, then return false. And we're doing that up here at the beginning because if this file doesn't exist, we don't want to read this because that'll just crash the program because the file's not there. And then at the beginning, we can add if parentheses load, then parentheses, and then in here, actually, let's do equals false, right? And then I'm going to click right here next to this for, and then click right here next to this, and I'm going to move this into here. Oh, that looks a little bit weird. Let's press tab a couple times, move that up to there, and make it look like that. There we go. I'm just doing that to make it look good. The code will still work if it's back here like this, but it just looks nicer like this. So now if it can't load, then it tries to make a new chunk, and then after it makes a new one, we will do save, like that. And then right here, after this world here, we can do a public bool modified equals false. And we're going to scroll down to set block, and we are going to do modified equals true. And now let's go into the world here, because we're going to do this. Do you see this part that says if chunk position X not equals chunk X, or chunk position Y is not equal to chunk Y? That's inside of our render function. Press enter here, make a new line, and we're going to do if chunk dot modified, the 2 equals true, the curly brackets after that, we're going to do chunk dot save with the semicolon after that, and then we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. We're going to make a new function down here after is collision at, and it's going to be public void save. We're going to make a save function for the world, and we're going to do for int x equals 0, semicolon, x is less than 4, semicolon, x equals x plus 1, curly brackets. Then another for int y equals 0, semicolon, y is less than 4, semicolon, y equals y plus 1. Curly brackets. We're going to be looping through all of the chunks, and if chunk, well, with an S at the end there, and the box here, x, comma, y, dot modified, the 2 equals true. So if the chunk is modified, chunks, the box, x, comma, y, dot save, and the parentheses and the semicolon at the end. And then we can go into the program here, and at the very end, let's add some enters here. we will do world.save, and the parentheses and the semicolon. Now, let's click this play. And we're going to test it out. So I'm going to go full screen. Let's build a smile. And we're going to make him say, hi. So now let's close this. And we're going to press the play button again. And go full screen. And if you look at that, we've got our smile that says hi here. We can break some stuff in here. Let's maybe go over here. We can build a floor here. And make a little house. And we can go back over here. The high is still here. Let's go all the way over here. All the way over here again. And the high is still here. And the house is still here. One last thing, though. You might have noticed, but we're not going to actually solve this just yet. The little green guy that was right here when we left the area and came back, he's gone now. He's actually falling down really quick all the way down the world. The reason for that is because we have actually, when we leave the area, these chunks disappear, and so he has nothing to stand on. So eventually what we'll be doing is we will be adding some code that we can use to save the little characters or the entities that are here when we leave the world. But for now, that is actually going to be it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.